Good morning, comrades. This is a not so nice Monday morning here in Montevideo. And this morning, if the rain holds off, it's supposed to rain in a little while. If the rain holds off, I will be arriving at the port where my ferry arrived from Buenos Aires a couple of weeks ago. According to Google Maps, it's only about 2 kms. And it's a fairly easy walk. In fact, I was in the area last week, and didn't even know it. But when I got to the port and took an Uber to my apartment, it seemed like a lot longer than 2 kms. So the fact that I can walk there in 2 kms or less was a real eye-opener. Anyway, that's where I'm headed this morning. And I don't know if you can tell, but we're just passing through Independence Square here in the center of the Old Town area. I think in my last video, I might have given the impression that I really didn't like Montevideo because of all the graffiti. That's not really true. The graffiti does make the place look awful. Let's be honest. But since I'm not the typical tourist, I'm not here for a day or so. Usually when I go someplace, I'm in town for at least 2 weeks, sometimes much, much longer. So my number one thing is to find a city or learn the city and then find out if I could actually live here. How comfortable am I staying in a place? That's what really is my criteria for deciding if I like a place or not. I have to watch my step here because we're walking on, well, they're not cobblestones anymore, but they're uneven stones nonetheless. But what I found out about Montevideo so far is that everything I need, everything I would want, is within walking distance. Groceries, fast food coffee joints, tourist sites, they're all within walking distance, which is what I like. Because there is, aside from buses, there is no public transport here. There's no metro system or train system to take advantage of. And if there is some other place I want to go, I can always get an Uber. I'm going to turn the camera off now because we're getting into a really noisy street construction area. More later. This is Plaza Zapata. Not sure the significance of Zapata. It's probably someone's name, but you can look that up. And according to Google Maps, let's see where we are here. We're very close to where we need to be. I'm starting to recognize the area when I got off the ferry. And it seems like there's an entire market area around it that I didn't even notice the last time I was here. I was more concerned with finding an Uber that would take me to my apartment than I was in looking around. But I had my bag with me, not my knapsack, but my actual luggage bag. So I really wasn't interested in exploring right at that moment. But now it's different. Well, as you can see, I'm here earlier than most normal tourists are even out of bed. So most of these shops are still closed. But I am in the port area, and hopefully I'll be able to get a good look at what one of these ferries that I came in on looked like. Because I think in another video I mentioned that everything occurred in the dark on the way over from Buenos Aires. So I saw the inside of the ferry, but I never got a look at what the outside of the ferry looked like. It's a fairly big boat, but If I tripped over it, I wouldn't recognize it. Well, the GoPro has struck again. I don't really know if it's recording sound or not. I changed the battery, and the little bar at the bottom of the screen that shows the sound level has disappeared. So it might be there, it might not. Anyway, I found the port. Now I'm going to see if I can find one of the boats. And I think I came in the wrong way. I think I'm at the employee entrance. There's a gate, and people that are going through the gate seem to have some kind of card that open the gate. I do have my international big shot card, but I'm not very confident that that would work. I think I came in another wrong way. Well, the tried and true look like you don't know what you're doing strategy worked. And one of the guards at one of the gates took pity on me and let me in. But I think I was supposed to come in this way anyhow, because a lot of this looks familiar. Security in this area is very tight, and I have the impression that, and no one's told me this, but I have the impression that wandering around with a camera is not the best thing to be doing. But as my usual strategy is, just keep on doing it until somebody tells you to stop. This does look very familiar though. This is where I came in on the ferry a few weeks ago from Buenos Aires. These are all people that have gotten off a ferry and are waiting for buses and taxis. So this is obviously the exit to the port. Well, I finally found where to actually go in. So the boat I was hoping to take pictures of was not there. Apparently they come in, they drop off passengers, and I guess they leave right away with another load of passengers back to Argentina. But anyway, the man at the check-in, he wasn't actually a guard, but he did say that I was in the right place for departures, and if he wanted, he would show me around and I could take video of it. And I told him that I'd rather do that on the day I was actually departing. But he spoke perfect English. I was very happy. By the way, I'm going to give away one of my international big shottery tips. And that is, whether you speak the local language or not, sometimes it's best to pretend that you don't. Because a lot of things that you can't do if you understand the local language, you can do if you don't understand the local language. In Thailand, I got away with a lot of things like going into buildings or places I shouldn't be, just because I can't read the signs and because things that people told me I just didn't understand. So after some explanation, they would smile and wave me along. But very rarely did I ever actually get thrown out of a place. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a try. Well, that's my trip to the ferry port. I don't know if you can tell, but the sun has come out. It's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning. And here we are in the dead of winter in Montevideo, and my two layers are too hot. This jacket is getting really warm. So on the way back, I'm probably gonna be taking it off before I buy some food and then head back to my apartment. So if you're a tourist here in Buenos Aires, you cross the street from the ferry terminal, and before you know it, you are at the beginning of the old town area of Montevideo. It's right across the street. When you look like you're going to cross the street, the cars actually stop and wait for you. You know, I'm perfectly happy to wait for them to go by and then cross, but that's not the way it happens here. This pedestrian street, and I forget the name of it, but I'll put the name down on the bottom of the screen, goes almost right through the center of the Old Town area, through Plaza Constitution, and then right through Plaza Independencia. And along the way are the shops and a lot of little stalls where you can get souvenirs, clothing. You can buy knives and kitchen utensils. Just about anything you can think of that would be sold in a department store is sold somewhere along this pedestrian walkway. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there's a McDonald's behind me. And one of these days, not today, I'm gonna go in there and check out their cafe latte. Remember, in many videos back, I explained how I think that McDonald's has the best coffee. I was disappointed with the McDonald's coffee in Buenos Aires. It is not the best. In fact, it tastes almost like instant. But I haven't been into McDonald's yet here in Montevideo, but I'm gonna go in and check it out. Maybe tomorrow or the next day and see how the coffee is. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna do for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey folks, remember, if you subscribe to this channel, all of your wildest dreams will come true. I'll show myself out.